Alright everybody, how you doing? Here is the video review for DX9's War In Pocket SKYER, S-K-Y-E-R. I guess you could pronounce it SKYER if you wanted to. He is the third of their War In Pocket Dinobots. As you can remember, we reviewed Slag and Sludge before, so there's the three of them together, just to get an idea of how they look. As we get the other ones, we will certainly bring them on in here, but just to give you an idea of how the three that we've seen so far compare. And I think they look good together. I always feel Sludge is the odd one out because he's supposed to be a much bigger dinosaur than either of the other two, but maybe he's a baby, I don't know. Now, his transformation is pretty straightforward, but has a few little bits and pieces that are a little bit of a pain in the butt. It's a little different than your standard swoop transformation too, which is kind of nice. The missile launchers do come off to become his weapons. Handheld weapons, if you wish, you can leave them on during the entire transformation process if you prefer. But his wings fold back. Bring them forward like this. The legs untab from back here if I can get them off. Getting these things tabbed in on here is a little difficult. There's a little tab here that goes into a slot in the leg, and if you don't have this all lined up just right, getting that tab on is a pain in the butt with the feet and everything. You bring his leg down. You see it rotates there at the hip. Bring the foot forward like this. He does have ankle tilt, which we'll show off later. Then fold this little piece in to hide the gap. Same on this side. You can see this little thing tabs in down here. But untab the leg. Bring it down like that. Fold this in, or flip the foot out, then flip this in. And you rotate the legs around right here at the thigh swivel. Bring it around to the front. Now here, instead of his whole, like the sides collapsing, these pieces actually rotate. You can see the pins here on either side of his head. These whole torso halves rotate back, which also gives the added bonus effect of kind of pulling his wings in a little bit so they don't stick out quite as far in robot mode, which is really cool. It gives him a really nice wingspan proportionate to the figure in dinosaur mode, but then kind of collapses him a little bit in robot mode, which I think is nice. You can see this little slidey hinge in there. That screw right there. This whole head assembly, this great silver piece with the head attached, slides down like that. And then there's a little clip here on the front of the dinosaur head that clips into the front of his robot mode face. So you bring that down, fold this down, pull that down into his chest, bring his hands around. There were his dinosaur feet. Apparently when I grabbed him, I flipped his dinosaur feet up. There's his little dinosaur feet, and you just flip those up to give him his hands. And there's SKYER in robot mode. He's got a ball-jointed head, which, again, can't look down so much because of the way everything comes together, but he can look up, he can look side to side. Ball joints at the shoulders, which, again, you can raise up here. So a ball joint in the torso as well as at the shoulder itself. Ball joint elbows. No wrist swivel because of how he transforms. No waist swivel, unfortunately, because of how he transforms. I think even with the head locked up, the way this silver piece slides down, no waist swivel. But he does have front to back thigh swivel, out and outside swivel, a hinge at the knee. You got a little bit of movement forward and back on the toes, as well as some ankle tilt there on the feet. It really only goes inward this way. Outwards, it pretty much locks into place because the hinge is not in the center of the foot, it's off to one side. So a little bit of a drawback there, but I mean, that's if you want him doing like I'm trying to think of where you might need. I guess if you wanted to lean him like this on one foot, you need some outward swivel, but it's more important to have this. You can put him in wider stances and he still stands very securely. Like I said, you can remove the missile pods and have him hold those as hand weapons. And just like the others, he does include a sword that he can have. There he is. He's a pretty nice little Dinobot. I'm looking forward to seeing this set in this size, because we had the Iron Factory Dinobots, but they were based off of the War Within designs, the tanks and things. So it's nice to have a little pocket set of Dinobots. And here he is with the other two. So yeah, it looks like when this set's all finished, this is going to be a really nice looking set of G1 style dinosaur Dinobots as part of the War in Pocket collection, a much smaller collection of Transformers. And again, just to give you an idea of how big these guys are, here's Titan's Return Brainstorm. So they're not quite deluxe height or size, but they're still a pretty decent little, but I mean, like, they're not super tiny. They're not like the Palm Collection Headmasters and anything like that. They are decently sized. They do have a fair amount of weight to them. I don't know if there's any die cast. Even these chrome bits, I'm pretty sure, are chromed plastic. But they're solid little Transformers, and like I said, looking forward to getting the last two because these guys look really good together. So there it is, DX9's War in Pocket SKYER.